Welcome back to Market Headlines. Minister of Cooperative and SME sees that a law on job creations can create significant impact to the cooperatives and small medium businesses. At least there are 6 advantages that small and medium businesses can have from the law. So here it is: the first, financing access; second, market access; third, ease on developing business; and the fourth, licensing and supply chain access to strengthen the role of small businesses and creating the employment. And of course, because law on job creations can bring local startup into maximum potential. And then moving on to the fifth point, the law is able to provide strengthening and protections for small, medium business actors in competitions with the big businesses. And the last one, the sixth point, the ease of applying for loans by small and medium businesses.
Dan UMKM ini yang pertama adalah menjawab masalah utama UMKM dan koperasi saat ini, yaitu akses kepada pembiayaan, akses pasar, akses ke pengembangan usaha, akses ke perizinan, ya, dan juga akses.
And yes, viewers, some say that the country's first ever omnibus law will help boosting the nation's economic growth and create job opportunities. But some say the law removes many benefits workers currently enjoy. Such dilemmatic conditions makes us think what is actually going on in here and what will experts think about this. And therefore, we are going to have a deeper discussions about public dilemma over omnibus law on job creations. And joining us with Jayanto Samirin as a public policy observer of Paramadina University. Hello, sir. How are you?
Ibu Clara, how are you?
I'm really fine, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, it's great, you know, a lot of good development, challenging development in the country, especially on the economic front. So quite, you know, exciting to have a look and observe.
All right, sir. So cut the chase. We got a very chaotic situation here as protests against the omnibus law and job creations also broke out, you know, at the Hotel Indonesia roundabout, Tugutani area, and several cities in Indonesia such as Jakarta, Medan, and Palu. And cut the chase, I want to know your perspective in here as a public policy observer. Does law on job creation brings more harm or good?
Yeah, I think it's like a two-edged sword for the nation. The intention of the law itself is very good, very noble to promote competitiveness. However, it has problem when it comes to the deliberation process, the process of creating the law, despite it is a very important law that impacts the livelihood of hundreds of millions of Indonesians. The process is pretty simplified, straightforward, without proper discussion with, you know, related stakeholders like labor association, you know, academia, and civil societies, and even local government. This creates a problem because, you know, they are feel left in.
Yes, sir. If we can assess that this law actually has a great plan with good deeds as well from the government, but there are some points that probably public would have a denial about that. And what is actually the worst part of this new law, from your opinion? Probably it's more to harming the workers or about the blunder procedural?
I think 40% is about the substance, but more than that, 60% is about the procedure, the process. Some say that it's constitutional. I'm, as a public policy observer and economist, think that, you know, it is a lack of the involvement of other stakeholders. In fact, the trust level between the people and the government now is very low because of the lack of transparency in, you know, drafting the law. And in fact, a lot of stakeholders were involved in the process, mostly representing the business community. That's why the accusations that, you know, the law biased toward business community is very strong. Of course, there are some positive aspects of the substance. We just discussed, your program just outlay, the impact of the law on small, medium enterprises. That's valid. For small, medium enterprises, the cluster for small, medium enterprises and cooperatives is really, really, helpful for these business institutions to grow, to have access to market, access to financing. But on the other aspects, workers, environment, and other things, human rights, some says that there are a lot of homework to be done.
All right, so I really like the idea that you point out that this is really helpful for the SME and also the businesses to have ease of financing and also market access. But however, we cannot even deny the fact that workers are having a problem in here. And as you said before, the key of public policy making is about participations. And here it is. Do you think that workers participated enough in evolving in this new law?
I don't think so. I think it has been published, the list of experts who were involved in designing the law. And not many of them representing civil society and academia. In fact, for this very important and comprehensive law, there is no such thing like comprehensive, robust study before. So I think it's a problem. And again, law is one thing, regulation is one thing. The most important part of it, especially in Indonesia, is how to implement it. We need, implementing regulation. To create that really takes time. And secondly, we need solid and effective bureaucracy to be able to handle this transformation, to be able to handle the implementation of the law. And bureaucracy often play a very significant role as, a handicap for business to grow, for investment to happen in Indonesia.
All right, so you mentioned many times about bureaucracy. In your opinion, how is the bureaucracy in Indonesia?
I think it has a very strong bureaucracy inertia. Our bureaucracy, when they are accustomed to old practice, old regulation, old mindset, old culture, it's very difficult to be transformed, to adapt to a new regulation, a new rule, a new mindset, and so on and so forth. And basically, the law, the Omnibus law, is a change of mindset. So it's a very big homework for the government to transform the bureaucracy. I've been in a government for 5 years, helping the vice president as a staff khusus or advisor in economics. Oftentimes, the toughest part of a program is to implement it.
So the implementation is the hardcore in here.
Yeah, especially when we have to deal with, bureaucracy from many ministries, bureaucracy from various, local government, that's the biggest problem that we face.
All right, sir.
I believe that even with the old law, when we improve the situation in our bureaucracy, the outcome will be so much different without changing the law.
Thank you for your explanation, sir, because it's really concise and we can take conclusions that this Omnibus law is actually good. It has a great plan and then is on the small, medium enterprise and small businesses, is of market access. But however, probably the public trust that we have to fix with the government and also the bureaucracy. Right, sir?
Thank you.
Yes, sir. So thank you for your time with us. Really appreciate it. And viewers, stay with us because market headlines will be right back after this quick break.